Hey, this is Colin James, and this is Fazer Magazine.
Hi, I'm Lori Lonsdale for FazerMagazine.com, and we're here with Colin James. When you released your self-titled album back in 1988, did you have any idea that it was going to spawn as many hits as it did, or the most promising artist for the Junos, or did it all come as a complete surprise to you?
Well, like any record, that record was, it was work. We went to Miami to record it with the legendary Tom Dowd as producer. And it went okay, but we were short songs. The Voodoo Thing we wrote down there. I remember phoning up to my manager at the time saying, hey, I wrote this song called Voodoo Thing, and he says, you can't call a song Voodoo Thing. It's Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, you can't do that. And I said, well, I don't know, it sounds good and it seems to be okay. So no, I mean, you never, until you're done. Obviously you're, probably what is that, 21? You're out there rocking it. We were doing a lot of stuff, and you hope for the best. But no, you never know. You never know that stuff.
It's been said that you got your start with Stevie Ray Vaughan, and God, I miss him to this day.
Yeah.
But if that hadn't happened, where do you think your career would have gone, and how much do you owe him as an influence?
Well, I would have been there. I would have been there anyway. I mean,
figured.
John Lee Hooker. I'd already opened up for John Lee Hooker at the age of 16, and George Thorogood too, before Stevie Ray. Not that I got that got me out there. But there's no doubt that Stevie Ray Vaughan's attention, because he was hot as a pistol at the time. I remember he said to me, I'm going to open some doors for you, make sure you walk through them. And he did, But I was pretty driven regardless. And I loved my blues like, I loved Albert King. When I first heard Stevie Ray Vaughan, I thought I was hearing Albert King. I thought Albert King had guested on a David Bowie record, and then later on said, no, it's this guy from Texas. But, so I guess you never know exactly how it would have gone though, do you? But,
right.
Yeah.
Well, what inspired you to deviate from that in 1993 when you started to go to big band? Like when you were so successful with the first two, why'd you jump off?
Well, a bunch of reasons, and that were they all make sense now. At the time, Los Lobos, Robert Cray, myself, Jeff Healey, and others, we're having that roots rock thing was really big, in 1991, 1992. But when Pearl Jam, came out in 1993, it really changed the landscape. And all of a sudden, it was the plaid shirt and the mussed-up hair and stuff like the Fabulous Thunderbirds and stuff that was usually a no-brainer to do well on the radio. This wasn't not the smartest thing to do anymore. And at the time, I was trying to write another one of those, and we just kept on kind of going. I was having trouble because the landscape had changed, and I wasn't coming up with the songs I should have. So I'd always felt like I never had a chance to show people that I really was a blues player. I think there was a dichotomy in what I do right off the get-go with 5 Long Years in One July that set me up for the rest of my life with, is this guy a pop guy? Is this a Bryan Adams-y kind of guy?
Yeah.
Or is this a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of guy? And so right out the table was laid right there off the start. And I always felt like I needed to prove that, no, this is like the stuff when I first started playing across this country, I was doing Let's Shout by Jackie Wilson, I was doing Reed Petit by Jackie, I was doing those, and 5 Long Years all in the same set. There was that kind of variation in my playlist even then. So the idea of doing a little big band was really born out of necessity, because I had to get something out. It'd been almost over 2 years, which can be a bit of a death knell. Kind of like too much inactivity. And I think it struck everyone's fancy. Like, that'd be kind of cool. And no one had any idea of how that was going to be perceived. And it ended up actually getting panned and sat out there like no one would touch it. People were like, what is he doing? And then it started, you could feel it. And it was probably one of the only times in my life I've really felt pop culture spin like that. Like going from nothing to Murmurs, and then holy smokes, this is a cool record, and it did way better than anything I thought.
Well, sometimes people have to sit with it. They're not comfortable with change, right?
Well, that's it, you know, and we opened up with the Rolling Stones 3 times on that record, you know, and of all the things I ever thought I would be doing, it would be not with the little big band opening up with the Stones. It was a big, crazy feeling going up there and going, you know, in these stadiums, you know, it was crazy.
Yeah. So, that was our interview with Colin James over at Maple Music Recordings. Swell guy, great interview, we really enjoyed it. This has been Lori Lonsdale for FazerMagazine.com.